Listen, we only have a few more days until the next set of characters come to Honkai Star Rail, that being Sparkle and the return of Jing Yuan. And of course, as your fellow HSR connoisseur, you're probably wondering if you should even summon on either Sparkle or Jing Yuan, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. And of course, I'm always sponsored by the ever wonderful Gamer Supps. Use code TYSTRA for 10% off. Now, without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into today's video, which we will be using Honey Hunter World, because this video is being sent out before the actual banner image goes live, but we already kind of know what it is because they've already talked about it. So first things first, let's talk about Qingque. Now, Qingque is one of those characters that I haven't really liked too much, and it's solely because of the fact that for me, I do like random, but I also don't like RNG a lot, which is funny because I'm a gacha game player. But when it comes to mechanics, sometimes RNG kind of irritates me. However, I will say E6 Qingque is actually pretty dang good. So if you are going to go for a Qingque, definitely go for the E6 because, yeah, she's pretty dang good. Now, outside of that, I feel it's kind of rough to go for a character for their E6 and only their E6, because honestly, outside of the E6, Qingque is just kind of mid, especially as a DPS character. So I definitely have to say that Qingque is kind of mid for me, kind of in the middle, because of the fact that, yeah, while she is a really good DPS at E6, you have to get her at E6, otherwise she's just not as viable as some of the DPSs that we've talked about in the past. Now, is she terrible? No, but she's just not good either. Speaking of good, but also we'll just talk about him. Sampo. Sampo is good in regards to nihility, but God, the character himself is just so dang annoying. Oh my God. We talk about it between myself, Mika, and Rami when we're talking about characters and we're talking about HSR, and Mika has a hatred for Sampo. But it's understandably so, because Sampo is really freaking annoying. Ugh. But outside of that, his actual kit is pretty dang good. Being able to give or put on wind shear and work well with characters such as, Kafka, Gwenifin. I haven't tried him with Black Swan, even though they're both wind, but that could be really good. He's just a really good 4-star nihility character. So he's quite the opposite in regards to Qingque. I actually like Qingque's character, but I don't like Sampo's character. I don't like Qingque's kit that much, even though Qingque can be good at C6, but I do like Sampo's kit. So it's kind of the two sides of the same coin almost. I don't think you really need Eidolons to make Sampo viable, which is really, really good in that regard. I don't think you should always have to have Eidolons to make a character viable. But I will say that he's one of those characters that if you have him and you're working on a nihility team and you don't have specific ones, he's definitely somebody that you should really work on. Now let's talk about Hanya, because Hanya's been out only for a little while. I believe, if I remember correctly, she came out in 1.5 alongside Huo. Or I could be wrong on that. I probably am wrong on that. Maybe. But anyways, she came alongside Huo, and as a Harmony character, she's decent. She has the ability, where is it? The skill deals physical damage equal to 300% of Hanya's attack on the single target enemy, and applies burden for every 2 basic attack skills or ultimates allies use on an enemy with burden. Allies will immediately recover 1 skill point, but it only lasts for 2 turns, which kind of sucks. So for 2 turns, you get an extra skill point, which using the skill once basically refreshes it, and that's kind of cool. But at the same time, is she extremely viable because of that? In essence, she can be, but if you're summoning on the Sparkle banner, she becomes obsolete if you get Sparkle, in my personal opinion. Outside of that, though, she does have the ultimate where she can increase the target ally's speed and the attack, which is pretty dang good. But if we're talking about just burden right here in the Samsara locked, it, like I said, it just kind of gets outclassed by Sparkle, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and talk about the first of the 2 5-stars, the returning Jing Yuan. Now, obviously, I'm a massive fan of Alejandro Saab, so already Jing Yuan is up there in my opinion. However, when Jing Yuan first came out, we honestly saw the cracks of how good the character could be in regards to their actual abilities. They could be good, but for some reason they just weren't outputting. And a lot of people complained about that. However, I will say, since the introduction of the what was it? Let me pull it up here really quick. There's a certain relic set that came out just recently, and I always forget the name. I know it's Ash Flame something, or the Ash Blazing Grand Duke. With this set right here, right, it made Jing Yuan way more viable. 2-piece increases the damage dealt by follow-up attacks by 20%, and when the wearer uses follow-up attacks, increase the wearer's attack by 6% for every time a follow-up attack deals damage. And if your follow-up attack, I believe this also includes like your the main attack of Jing Yuan's stand, basically, where it can hit up to 10 times. So you're getting all of your increases in that run, like right there. So that's why that set works really well with Jing Yuan. But yeah, Jing Yuan got a lot better. Would I say that he's one of the best DPSs out there? No, but I will say he's very usable in regards to pure fiction. If you're not going to run Nihility teams. If you aren't going to run Nihility, Jing Yuan is kind of that guy that you want to run to help out with, you know, being able to attack multiple targets. So that's my opinion on that. Is he like a S+ tier? No, but it works. So now let's go ahead and talk about the girl of the hour, the Hu Tao of Honkai Star Rail, Sparkle. Now, I say Hu Tao as a term of respect because I love Hu Tao in Genshin Impact. And Sparkle is pretty dang good as it is right here. With Sparkle, she is a Quantum Harmony character, so she rounds up all the Quantum. Quantum has a character in every path now, so you can run a full Quantum team. But what I want to talk about is a little bit of her kit. On her skill, it increases the crit damage of a single target ally by 30%, and Sparkle's crit damage plus 54%, lasting for 1 turn, and at the same time advances forward the ally's skill by 50%. So automatically she's advancing the skill and also increasing the crit damage from her crit damage to you. So you want to build her up with a little bit of crit, it looks like. And then of course her ultimate recovers 4 skill points for the team and grants all allies Cypher. For allies with Cypher, each stack of the damage boost effect provided by Sparkle's talent additionally increases by 12% for 2 turns. And then on the talent, this is basically talking about Cypher here, I believe. When Sparkle is on the battlefield, additionally increases the max number of skill points by 2. Whenever an ally consumes 1 skill point, all allies damage dealt increases by 7.5%. The effect lasts for 2 turns and can stack up to 3 times. So there's that. So you start out with 5 skill points, right? So you're going to go up to 7 with her, which is big for teams that she's going to be connected to, like say Imbibe or Lune, or Nihility teams will actually be get a big benefit from this. So she's very good in regards to skill point viability, because she is going to help keep your skill points up, especially if you build her with enough ERR. She's going to be getting her ultimate so that you never run out of skill points. So I feel as though she's going to be pretty busted for the most part in regards to being able to constantly use skills. So, should you summon on Jing Yuan? That really just depends on your multi-target teams. If you have Nihility teams built up, like say you have a Black Swan, Kafka, and all that ready to go for your team, you really don't need Jing Yuan in my personal opinion. Now, is Jing Yuan good now? Yeah, he's pretty good. He's not amazingly good. Blade, I think, still outpaces him in regards to DPS. I think even Topaz can like outpace him in some regard. But if you build your Jing Yuan really, really well, you're going to do just fine with Jing Yuan. Should you summon on Sparkle? I think so. I think that Sparkle brings something to the team that's going to be really, really good. Like if you don't have a Ron Mai, you could go with Sparkle. If you don't have a Sparkle, you could go Ron Mai. they're two totally different builds and two totally different aspects, but they each are going to benefit your team in some regard. I think that Sparkle with the skill point like distribution in general is freaking phenomenal. Being able to have 7 skill points and recover 4 of those on ultimate is insane. Partner her up with a with Imbibitor Lune and you're gonna be perfectly fine. I think that she's gonna be Imbibitor Lune's like best partner in regards to all that, but again, that's just my personal opinion, just from reading on paper. It could be that she isn't as good as I am saying she is, but on paper and without like looking into leaks and stuff, it looks like she's gonna be a must summon. So, but that's gonna be it for me today. If you like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. Love to hear y'all's opinions on this. Are you gonna be summoning for Sparkle? And if so, tell me how ready you are. How many summons do you have in the bank ready to go? So, but that's gonna be it today. Love you all to death. And as always, we will catch you. Oh, sorry about that. And we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.